Did it just adjust the tracking?
Well, I think it did actually. Yeah, it's one of those. It's a retro setup. It's actually part of the flavor of the game. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews. It's Gaming Friday. I'm Gary,
and I'm Geoff.
And today we are taking a look at Far Cry 3: Blood Dragon, which, as you can see right now, just looks incredibly retro.
Yep.
And I've got to say, Geoff, I've been a fan on and off with Far Cry since the start.
Yeah.
And I feel like, well, I've been told by everybody, you've missed out by not playing Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. So I confess now, this is my first time ever playing this game. Although I know what it's about. I know what it looks like.
Yeah.
I just never actually played it and experienced it myself.
I've heard exactly the same. Exactly the same position. I'm kind of maybe spoiling this for myself, but I don't care because... I bought this game ages ago, and all I've heard is good things about it. Everybody's saying, well, you might not like Far Cry, it might be typical Ubisoft drivel, but Far Cry Blood Dragon is really good fun.
Yes.
And it's just like big 80s satire, isn't it, really?
It is, and well, already we've got the, it's sort of the 16-bit, 32-bit graphics, 16-bit, so for sure, it looks like, this looks like the game I wanted to have, or these cutscenes look like the cutscenes I wanted to have on my Sega Mega Drive. You know, it's that apocalyptic setting as well, and of course...
Yep, Terminator, anyone?
Yeah, well, you know who the main voice actor is in the game, Geoff? I'm going to test your film knowledge here.
Right, no, I don't know.
You don't know
I don't know who.
Okay, I'm putting you on the spot, I know, Geoff, but do you know who Michael Biehn is?
Yeah, I've heard of Michael Biehn.
Yeah, so who is he? Terminator, Geoff! Terminator! It's the Kyle Reese.
Oh, it's Carl Reese.
So of course.
Oh, yeah.
So the connection's already there. This game's music sounds very Terminator-esque. Michael Biehn, who was, very close to this game, he also did a very particularly awful rendition of his character in Aliens Colonial Marines, where he reprised the role and voiced Hicks.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He did this the same year.
Oh, really?
And this is a complete switch, because he sounded like he was being propped up in the sound booth to do Hicks. They were prodding him to say his lines. Yeah. It was just a dead delivery.
He probably was pissed off because they were massacring his character.
Well, they brought his character back, so it was resurrected.
Yeah, but some things should just let
before we digress so much, but we know that Michael Bihn's coming back yet again for the next Alien movie.
Right.
Well, considering the concept art for it. But anyway, I'm going to say now, Michael Biehn, fantastic voice actor for this game, even though he's shit. But it works because of the style of this game, so he's deliberately doing a shit voice. I always found him interesting as well, that he never wanted to be an A-star actor. He always only wanted to be a supporting actor, and so never really took on leading roles. But here, he is the leading man in this crazy world where nukes have dropped, and you are a cybernetic ninja robot assassin superhero.
Brilliant.
And you get to fight dragons and fire laser guns.
Yeah, fight dragons which fire laser guns, don't they?
Exactly,
out of their mouth, I think. Yeah.
So I'm just going to go into my sort of brief history with the Far Cry series, because I usually tell people, I gave up Far Cry after Far Cry 2. And people go, oh, well, you play Far Cry 3 and 4 and then played the latest one, Primal, and I was like, well, I played all the other ones. People like, other ones?
Yeah.
Like, I played Far Cry when it came out in 2004 on the PC, and that was a time when, Crytek were making the best visuals in video games I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh my god, have you heard the music, Geoff? Yeah. On the rail shooter introduction to some Predator music. Oh my god. Already. This game is just like, have it.
It's just an 80s invocation, isn't it?
Yeah. Film references up the ass with this game. I just want to play it. I just want to stop talking about other Far Cry games that are not as good as this one.
Yeah, because, so you played, basically there's a whole bunch of Far Cry's before you get to Far Cry 2.
There is.
And so people are like, oh, you only played 2 of them. And you're like, no, I played fucking 6 of them.
I played Far Cry, like I said, on the PC. Well, when I was into PC gaming, and Far Cry test the benchmark of your graphics card, and I got to play it on the ultra setting, and I'd blown away. I was like, this is the future of games. The graphics, Crytek, you're the leaders at this time. And then they started, a few years later, porting them to consoles, or specifically at this time to the original Xbox. And we had Far Cry Instincts. And then a little while later, we got Far Cry Instincts Evolution and Far Cry Instincts Predator, which both came out on the same day.
Right.
Evolution came out on the original Xbox, whereas Predator came out on the Xbox 360.
Right.
And believe it or not, the Wii version also got its own version of Far Cry called Far Cry Vengeance.
Okay.
And believe it or not, Nintendo don't usually put out 18 rated or mature content games. So
they occasionally dip their toe in as a third party gore, but
occasionally they do. Was this a crotch grab then, just then, as he tooled up? It's fucking insane.
Probably.
So anyway, it was surprising that Far Cry did go to the Wii, and it was a mature rated game for the Wii, which doesn't happen that often.
Yeah, but the problem is Ubisoft became more and more formulaic, didn't they? Basically,
welcome to the party, pals. We're gonna die hard quote right away.
Because I've only played Far Cry 3. I can tell you that now, and it's so formulaic, and so much did it remind me of the Assassin's Creed games that I was like, it was like first-person shooter version of Assassin's Creed, and Assassin's Creed lost me because it was so formulaic.
Press A to demonstrate your ability to read. Did you see that tutorial?
But this is a bit more like it because it's got the humour, it's got the gags.
What? I know what jumping is, game.
But for me, Far Cry
challenged my sense of balance by crouching.
Far Cry 3 was, I played it, I completed it, but it didn't inspire me to go and play any of the other Far Cries. However, this one looks like so much fun, and I heard so many good things about it, I just bought it anyway.
Well, it does work as a standalone game. You can purchase this... God damn it, game. You can purchase this as a standalone, and it is sort of an expansion to Far Cry 3, even though it has zero to do with Far Cry 3. It just uses the same game engine and borrows some assets, but obviously a lot of it was written specifically for the game. But obviously the AI programming is very similar.
Yeah, I mean, it is basically the same thing with a different skin, isn't
it? I just realised one of the reasons why I wasn't too interested in playing the game, Jeff.
Yeah.
It's stealth mechanics. I'm not a stealth player, really. Even though I will play some stealth games, like Alien Isolation. But
there was a lot of that in Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
You're just supposed to sneak around and unleash beasts on them.
That was great in Far Cry sort of 1 through Instincts, Predator, the sort of moving through the jungles and trying to spy on the enemy encampments, figure out what sort of enemies were there, where's the best approach to come at, what their guard pattern was, and then proceed to take them all out.
It was fun in the early noughties, but I don't know, I just got a bit worn out on it, and eventually you sort of think, can't be bothered to sneak around this thing, I just want to shoot some shit.
Well, that was one of the reason why I stopped playing Far Cries was because I loved the original Far Cry, and I loved the Xbox 360 Far Cry Instincts Predator, because you could build your own maps, custom map editors. There was the Predator mode where one player was super powered, kill combo, where one character was super powered and he was chasing the other players around the map, and the others sort of had, like a zombie mode, but with a super aggressive Predator mode. And that really worked. Really enjoyed that. Played hours and hours of multiplayer. First time I was ever building maps in a video game on a console as well. And so when Far Cry 2 came around, it, for me, took away all the fun. God damn, I know how to fire weapons, game. okay. So, oh my god, lubricating your future. Okay. Okay. Covers. Oh my god, grenades, cooked grenades. Pilfering, search of bodies for loot. Okay.
Time tutorials.
Let us play the game for you. Might as well. Come on, the weapon.
Yeah,
it's just.
They are satirizing their own a tutorial here, though.
Completely. I mean, it's kind of fun in its own self. Oh my God, yes. Right, now get to kill stuff again. So Far Cry 2 really killed it for me when it went uber serious, and it was you suffer from malaria, and you're in the heart of Africa, and everything is horrible and drab, and there's all these gun runners and drug dealers, and there's not very many pleasant people in that world. It might have been in an exotic location for the game, but I just did not like the fact that you constantly needed to go and find doctors to drug up. Right. The leveling up system I didn't enjoy too much. The transportation system I didn't enjoy that much. It just became a chore to move around the map. You know, it's kind of like, I just want the fast travel. Yeah, and so it didn't really work that well for me. And so that's why I just went, Far Cry 3 has got one of the best villains in video game history. And it was just like, well, yeah, that's great and all, but I'm kind of also burnt out on Assassin's Creed, as you said earlier, and I was starting to feel the burn of Ubisoft games, and I was like, they all look like the same game,
it's all the same
with
mechanics.
different skins.
Yeah.
But I will give it to Ubisoft that the people that they have that go and look at the actual locations when they build these game worlds, the textures in them, the photorealism in places, and they're very good at building the worlds. And I think that graphically they are fantastic. It's the gameplay and sometimes the story that just loses it. I can't follow it anymore. I'm just not interested.
Yeah, I mean, the Ubisoft done some really big critical sins for me as well, which stop me from ever giving them money, really, except for exceptional games. But I mean, this qualified, you know what I mean? Like, I bought Blood Dragon because it was different enough, it was fun enough, that, I just thought, well, alright, Ubisoft, you're going to get a bit of my money this time. A bit like Trials, Trials, the bike puzzle game. That was so good, I bought that. But, I mean, yeah, your typical Ubisoft, run around, pick up these collectibles, find a tower, go to the top of it, unlock the maps, rinse and repeat. Garbage. I was just, I had enough of that, and I just couldn't be bothered with it. So
I think it probably works for people that don't play all the Ubisoft games, but as a gamer or a hardcore gamer or however you want to look at it, if you play a lot of games and you play a lot of Ubisoft games and they became seasonal almost every year.
That's what I mean.
It's like the release dates for the Far Cry got closer and closer and closer. Instead of it being a 4-year gap, it became a 6-year gap to a 4-year gap to a 2-year gap, and that happened with the Assassin's Creeds until it became a yearly thing, just like Activision's Call of Duties and any other game that wants to be a franchise.
A soulless game factory for, if it worked last time, let's just do that again. Yeah, but I mean, there's still there's still fans for it, and I'm not going to knock anyone that still enjoys playing those games. It's just there is a tiresome factor. I'm dying here. My health's running out. I got one heal kit left. I love the sound. Pew pew pew.
Pew pew pew. So I mean, I'm just playing this on the normal difficulty right now.
Yeah.
And it is fairly easy. I'm not really paying any attention. I'm not looking for the collectibles. I'm not pilfering the bodies for the credits to level up.
Yeah.
I think you can go up to like level 30 or so, and after every so many levels you get bonuses to health and speed and whatnot. I think I'm going to die, but I can't. Yeah, God damn it.
This looks like the most fun way to play it, though. Just go mental.
Just go mental. I mean, you could... The game tells you, these are the alarm systems. This is where the enemy's going to bring in reinforcements. You can sneak around and do takedown kills. You can do chain combo kills, but... God damn it. Yeah, okay, I know about the shuriken takedown. But I sometimes I just want to go guns blazing. I think maybe when... Like I said, I'm playing this on normal now, and a lot of people have said that the game, you can do it in 6 to 8 hours on normal difficulty.
Yeah.
And it depends whether you want to go and find the collectibles or some of the other hidden items, or actually go Easter egg farming.
Yeah.
Because this game is filled with references, achievements are named after film quotes. But there is a challenge, more of a challenge playing it on hard, although it's nowhere near as difficult as Far Cry 3 is. So it is a much easier game. But then
I take it the map is considerably smaller.
It is considerably smaller. Like I said, it's only a 6-8 hour experience, so it's a lot linear. It's a lot more linear. But I mean, in the playthroughs that I have seen of the game as well, there are, like I said, the 16-bit cut sequences that play out. They're brilliantly scripted. There are hilarious moments in some of the later parts of the game, or throughout the game. It is fantastically written, and so it's hard to go, what is this? Is this a video game? Is this a movie? Is it a superhero story?
To be honest, I think you can just say it's an excuse to have fun with retro 80s shenanigans, basically.
It's kind of absolutely refreshing at the same time. It's like, why wasn't this done before?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sort of is. I mean, Borderlands, for instance, like that's fairly run-of-the-mill shooter.
Yeah.
Except there's all the comedy in it.
It's all the dialogue.
And that is what makes Borderlands.
But then again, that was to a sense, we're talking about very well written games within its genre. Would be also looking at the likes of Portal, or Red Dead Redemption, where it's very cinematic in its presentation, whereas this one is obviously clearly very tongue-in-cheek in its presentation. And it sort of requires you to have been an 80s child or a 90s child.
I was just wondering that. I was like, do you really need to have grown up and been through the 80s to appreciate this? And I think to a certain extent, to appreciate it fully, you would have to. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get
you'll miss
a lot
the
of
references.
The
You'll be like, what's that a reference to? I don't know. What's that? I don't know. And then this game just becomes like the most generic run and gun shooter you've ever played. And you're like, what was the big joke? I don't get it.
Yeah, I think it helps a lot to have been alive in the 80s to make this game appeal. But having said that, I mean, if you have a keen interest in the history of, because I mean, there's still plenty of millennials out there, or later millennials born in the 90s, who still were like, oh yeah,
I can't even grab the ladder. I'm just about to say they're feeling quite wonky on these controls right now.
I know what VHS Betamax is, and like there are some kids who are clued up on what the 80s was like.
Yeah.
So I mean, you either have to have grown up in the 80s or be a fan of the 80s, I think, and to really get most of the references here.
Definitely, yeah.
But if you get them, then this
it just
game
enhances it makes what this is. It literally is the difference between enjoying the game and just going, this is shit.
Yeah.
What am I looking at? This is terrible.
Yeah.
Dragons with laser beams. It's a kid's game, right?
Yeah. I mean, what's the story? Is there much of an adult nature to it? Is it?
Well, right now, I think the enemies are about to launch another nuclear missile, and I'm making my way in to neutralize the base. And then, from what I remember, there's my other robot ninja ally.
Because Far Cry 3 was like 18 rated, wasn't it? But, I mean,
definitely. Well, this game is filled. This game has sex scenes. It has vulgar language.
So
obviously,
this one does.
This Blood Dragon does.
Go.
And as I was saying with the 16-bit cut sequences, they go on for quite a while. Actually, it's a full animated moment.
Sweet.
But it's all animated in that style. It's not fully fleshed out, but it's fully voiced, and the sounds are great as well. Okay, so I've got a big dude in armor now, so I need to throw grenades, or what have I got? I've got like 8 grenades, and he's still alive. So now playing this game, it's obviously all the simple controls, everything you'd expect from an analog stick first-person shooter.
Yeah.
But it does feel clunky. It does feel dated already. I don't know whether it's supposed to, or whether I've just finished playing Titanfall 2, and I'm so used to wall-running, super agile movements that when I play this...
What that is just that it is a run-of-the-mill shooter. The actual mechanic of it doesn't feel great. Like the guns feel spongy. There's almost nothing distinct between Far Cry's guns. They feel horrible.
Yeah.
The movement is... alright, it's meant to be, I suppose, a bit more realistic, but the mechanics of the these Ubisoft shooters were not there for me, which meant that the story had to be amazing and the other things that you had to do had to be interesting, which they weren't for Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
I know some people...
Oh my god, I'm having real trouble with the controls here. I can't even jump up. It's like double jump. There we go. Good old double jump.
A lot of people... can you actually double jump in this?
Well, I did it then. I don't know if we can.
You can actually go jump in the air and jump again when you're in mid-air, can you?
Yes, well, I did then.
Got boost boots. I mean, you look at like Destiny, and everything is shit in Destiny except for
the controls.
All the core mechanics are amazing.
Yeah.
And that made that game.
Well, we're talking about that on release. Obviously, Destiny has become its whole other thing right now with all of its expansions.
Bits in here and there, but I mean, yeah, on release, what made Destiny good was good
Bungie's core mechanics.
Bungie mechanics. Yeah, it was amazing. Whereas, Ubisoft did not have that in their shooters. So, you know, the stuff, a bit like Borderlands, the stuff around it had to make up for it.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was humorless. I didn't think the bad guy in Far Cry 3 was good. Some people rate her, but I thought she was boring, to be honest. I thought she was like, I didn't find her intimidating. She didn't care about her. I didn't find her motives particularly made sense, you know. So, yeah.
Well, I think you are in a minority on that one.
Yeah, I
so.
am. Yeah. I mean, yeah, she didn't bother me that much at all. I mean, it was kind of like the motive of trying to save your friends was a bit more interesting.
At the same time, that was after watching the intro for that game. I was like, I already don't care about the character I'm playing, and I don't really care about these brats that I need to go and rescue. I'd much rather turn right now into the villain, and just take over the Empire, take over this cartel.
Of course, in 4 they turn you into the villain.
Yes,
don't they? You are the villain in 4. But I mean, yeah, I have not actually played 4, so I couldn't comment on that. But 3, yeah, I was not intimidated by her as a bad guy, and I felt like it was really contrived towards the end there. But yeah, this seems much more like silly fun, and I'd much rather spend 6 to 8 hours on this than 30 hours on Far Cry 3 for sure.
Definitely. Well, yeah, I think as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm gonna, not that I just want to get done with the video and get back to the game. I actually just want to play this game. It is, despite I'm having difficulties with the controls and it being a bit clunky, when I'm sprinting and moving around freely, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think it's just the whole syndrome of talking and playing. Anyway, I'm not getting to grips with the game. There's the nuke. There's the nuke.
Yeah, I mean...
Geoff, did you know that there was also a Far Cry movie?
I didn't
Back in 2008.
I heard they were gonna make one, but
they made it.
No, they did.
It's testing your film knowledge again, Geoff. But you must have heard of Uwe Boll.
No, never heard of Uwe
Never
Boll.
heard the guy who's made more video game to movie adaptations than anyone else. A famous German director that once got into a boxing ring and beat the crap out of his fans because he was like, "You all call my movie shit. Get into the boxing ring with me, and you can beat the shit out of me if you want."
What?
But he beat the shit out of all of the people that tried to fight him because he's actually a boxer as well.
Oh right.
So, he was like, "Right, have it. Right, I'm gonna go back to making my shitty movies." He made like Postal. He made, oh my god, there are so many of them.
He made
Blood Rain.
Postal.
Postal. Blood Rain. There's so many. Alone in the Dark.
Really? But they are all shitty, really shitty.
Oh, they are all shit. But again, there's the fans of those movies, and he did do a movie, and it's called Far Cry.
Right.
And it's more in tone with the sort of Far Cry Instinct's Evolution Predator versions of Far Cry, by literally having the main character in a Hawaiian shirt. I don't think he might have had the name Jack Carver. I remember that was the name of the character from the games.
Right.
But it was an abomination. It was literally the location from the game and a character that looks like a character from the game, and that's it.
Right.
And that's pretty much what Uwe Boll does with his games.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going off on a tangent here, but he also did House of the Dead, which he was famously used snippets and clips from the game as filler in the film itself when they were killing and shooting zombies. It cut to the game of them shooting the zombies in first person mode. It's like that was the level of filmmaking. I mean, if this is a revelation to anybody listening, you're in for a treat. Just go look up this German director. But I'm sure everyone at this point knows who he is.
I did. I mean, this is the thing. Like, his films must have like tapered off into obscurity because he has
only just recently he actually retired from making movies, and I think it's because the German Film Board is no longer getting the money in order to finance him making the movies, because for whatever reason it was still profitable for him to keep making the movies, which is why he kept getting the money. What was strange was the actors that he would get in those projects.
Well, they were good, were they?
Well, you've had Jason Statham, Michael Madsen. I mean, I'm saying these are great actors. You have Michelle Rodriguez, Meatloaf. There's a couple of other famous actors. Well, I say famous. They all kind of dropped off the A-list, B-list after UA Bowl movies into C-list areas, with a couple of reprisals later on in their careers. But
yeah, you see, this is the problem, isn't it? If you make video game movies badly, then you know, like, everything gets hurt by it. The actors get hurt by it. The license gets hurt by it. I think I'm glad to see an end of time when people make shit video game to movie conversions. Like, I would much rather see
Ubisoft
like
coming
Warcraft
out soon with the Assassin's Creed movie. I think it's one of the first times the studio itself is making the movie behind it, other than Capcom's their own animated Resident Evil movies, Square Enix's Final Fantasy movie, but an actual theatrical cinema release.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you got like Capcom backed a crowdfunded movie which was much better, you know what I mean, like and Warcraft much better, getting some big names who are really fans of the games to make the movies. So I don't know about Assassin's Creed. Let's hope it's a fan of the game that's making it. But Warcraft, I believe, is pretty damn good, isn't it?
I haven't actually seen it myself yet.
We gotta go watch it.
It's on the to-do list.
Thing is, I'm not a huge Warcraft geek.
Well, neither am I.
Jez was pissing his pants when he when that.
Well, he was one of he's the only Warcraft player I know who came back glowing out of the cinema, going, "Oh, there was all these references and all these references," and yet the general cinema audience hadn't a freaking clue who those characters were. X from Y to Z in the film. It was like these were the plot characters. Yet alone, Jez has spent millions of hours going on quests with them, doing missions for them.
But I'd much rather see a movie like that that's made for the fans of the game, you know, like, and other people, if they're like, well, who the fuck's that guy, then well, go play the game, find out.
No, don't do it. World of Warcraft is slowly dying away. We all need to let it die now.
I don't know if it is actually, is it? Oh, I've still got millions of concurrent users.
It does, yeah.
That's just Blizzard though. Blizzard fanboys will be Blizzard fanboys forever.
I want the Blood Dragon movie. I want the movie. We're gonna power slide and boom, Doom style, destroy the generator or the device or the nuke.
Reminds me a bit of the old Duke Nukem as well. Do you remember that?
No,
original Duke
that's
Nukem
the thing.
platforms.
This game actually reminds me of a game called, I think it was Matt Hazard. On the Xbox 360, which was a self-aware first-person shooter where he knew he was a video game character going on these missions, and all the different missions were of different styles and different environments, and the self-aware parodying sort of motivation. That was actually another good game, which I hope to see on the backwards compatibility list as well. It was an overlooked game, didn't really do that well, but it was a tongue-in-cheek shooter, which very much I was reminded of it playing this game.
Is that like an inspiration for the Serious Sam series?
No, Serious Sam was around way before Matt Hazard.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah. Matt Hazard just deserves a sequel. I don't want a conversion. I just want a sequel to that game. God damn it. Well, I think we've gone off on so many tangents. I'm just going to say that. Fuck yeah, man. Far Cry 3. Like, I'm an idiot for waiting till the end of 2016 to play this game. I'm going to make sure I finish this game before the year's out. And maybe, just maybe, I will get back into the Far Cries, but I'm not seeing anything yet from Ubisoft to make me want to get back into playing their games.
No, I'm not interested in Primal. I'm not interested. It's just the latest one.
It was the latest one, and I looked at it and I was like, yeah, it looks beautiful, but this is... I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer.
I think I'm gonna sit down and try. End of the year. Well, I suppose it's December virtually, so yeah, maybe not by the end of the year. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I got loads of things which I'm sort of close to completing, and I've got quite a lineup of these little short games that I want to complete. So once I start doing my marathon, that is definitely right up there.
Final Fantasy 15 is not a short game, Geoff.
Not playing Final Fantasy 15. I refuse. I'm going to do Witcher before I do Final Fantasy.
You still haven't done The Witcher yet, Geoff. Oh my god! Right, that's it. I'm ending the video, and I'm going to go and tie Geoff to his PC until he finishes the Witcher trilogy. Still got to start from the beginning, Geoff.
I know.
God damn it! Right, that's going to be it from us here off the shelf reviews. This Gaming Friday. We'll be back next Friday with another video game. Of course, film reviews on Thursdays. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Patreon. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Take it easy.